Welcome to Revision Retirement's Changing Lanes video interview series. I'm David Topus, founder and managing director of Revision Retirement. In our Changing Lanes video interview series, you'll hear firsthand from those who've reinvented, redirected, and reinvigorated themselves in their retirement years. Leverage the skills, knowledge, and expertise from a career in corporate or professional life to fast track the road to entrepreneurship and to generate income. Whether you've just begun to explore the idea of buying or starting a business, or have already decided this is what you want to do, this interview will let you hear firsthand from someone who's done it successfully.
Welcome to Revision Retirement's Changing Lanes video series. I'm really excited about the guest that we have today, Brian Long, and I'm going to not take up too much time and let you all hear directly from Brian himself as we talk today about buying a franchise, what that looks like, and Brian's experience with that. So, Brian, glad to have you, my friend. To get us started, could you tell us a little bit about your career when you were in corporate America and a little bit about your background before you changed lanes?
Thanks, Jalen. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and share my background, and hopefully it helps some future clients as well. I spent 30 years in the food industry. I started entry level and worked my way up through corporate America and worked for several different food manufacturers and pretty much ended my, I would say, corporate America career in the food business with Coca-Cola. I retired from Coke just because corporate America has been changing over time. And it's no longer, you can have a complete 25 to 35 year career at one company. It's, 2 to 3 years and you're going on to your next thing and getting different experiences. So it has changed over 30 years for me. And I wasn't used to that musical chair kind of stress. And I said, you know what? One is I moved down here and I was traveling a lot with Coca-Cola, which I didn't expect. And two was the landscape was changing all the time. So I said, you know what? They're offering some different retirement packages. So I took one. And at the same time, my wife was teaching and we both decided that we're children of small business owners. And we said, we'd love to have a small business of our own someday. We kept throwing around ideas like restaurants and different opportunities out there. And we decided that we wanted to pursue looking for different things. So I said, all right, well, let's do that. Let's take some of the money that I had from the retirement and invest it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I remember you mentioned the friend that kind of helped you all navigate and find that you wanted to go the franchise route. Were there any things in particular that just kind of said, okay, this one or two things was, hey, we've got the freedom. We're a little bit more in control of our money this way. Was there anything about the franchise in particular that drew you in that made that feel like the right fit?
Yeah, those are all good questions. And, one of the things that, I have a core group of mentors and coaches that I lean on, right? And that's the way to do it. And so they kept telling me, like, why are you going to try to recreate the wheel? Why are you going to do it on your own? There's franchises and there's franchise brokers that can help you choose what's a good fit, right? And so that's what we did. And they did a survey. They surveyed me separately from my wife, and basically whether it was what our personalities lined up best with, what our skill set lined up best with, the whole gamut. And they were able to give us 10 franchises at a time to take a look at. And we finally said, you know what, we want to do a marketing franchise that's an agency that's multimedia that allows us to get in the community. Because I travel so much in corporate America, I was never able to dig in and even know who the mayor of my community was. I mean, wow. Personally.
Yeah.
So, and my wife being a teacher, she knows that, but she was never a salesperson. So she had one end of the spectrum and I had the other end with the sales. And together we form a good, unit. And we decided that doing marketing, social media, digital, print was for us. One of the things that we were very excited about is culturally we fit well with Money Pages, is what the franchise name is. And Christian-based company, been in business 20 years, had the same frame of mind of what services and how you sell those services to clients. You're not going to sell them things they don't need.
Right.
And you're going to help people. And, they do a lot with philanthropy, which was one of our check boxes. Like, hey, we want to do a business, but we also want to be number one, involved in the community and give back. and then do some philanthropy stuff, which Money Pages has connections with Must Ministries locally and Tebow Foundation and a bunch of others that are going to allow us eventually, because we've been doing it 2.5 years, almost 3 years now, to really dig in and give back. And that's what we've started to do too, as one of the phases of our business. So that it's been an exciting journey so far.
What, if anything, would you have done differently, or either in your early retirement and switching lanes to just say, hey, I'm kind of done with corporate America, and then also with the franchise? Is there any advice that you have around that, or anything you would have done differently?
So I'll take it in two phases. One is one of the things that, and I'll speak to future franchise people or future owners of businesses, is make sure it's a good fit. Make sure you do your due diligence on ownership and the culture of the organization that you're going to be attached to. Do your due diligence of speaking with other franchise owners in that system that you may be going in, and then starting new, just ask those other owners, what did they deal with, so you're prepared and have a good plan going in. Because it's not all unicorns and lollipops. It doesn't happen that way. I mean,
Right.
You can go down that road and skip all you want, but you gotta make sure that you have a good plan and that you're well set up for anything that could happen. So I think that just picking the right cultural fit for yourself, and then knowing a lot about where you're going to go and that it makes sense to have a good fit. The other thing is, I would, right out of the bat, if it's a franchise that's in the community, is get involved in the community right away. Whether it's Rotary, Kiwanis, whatever it is, join all the groups. Get into a closed networking group. Join all the business associations. Go to the Chamber of Commerce. All of it. We waited a few months to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and once we did it, we were like kicking ourselves, because those are referral-based organizations, and
Yeah.
we have 30% of our business today is referral-based.
Super valuable. Yeah, that is absolutely super valuable advice. Some of the things I wouldn't even consider if today I decided to open up a franchise. But now, before we wrap up and I'll let you go, I just have one last question I have to ask you, and I'm just curious. Did you decide to do anything else, or consider doing nothing else in retirement? Because the dream is, I go play golf, lay on a beach, travel with my wife. Did you consider any of that at all?
I have a lot of friends that and family members that say that, right? They're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to work for this company, retired. I'm going to, play golf and go down to Florida or whatever. Well, half of them end up starting up their own business because they get bored.
Right.
You can only play golf so many days a week, and you can only go, out to dinner so many times and just do nothing so many times. I mean, if that's your personality, great, but that's not mine and not my wife Ramona's. I mean, nowadays everyone's got their hand in something. And I think that small business, which I didn't understand working for corporate America, small business is a whole nother pool, call it, right? It's a whole nother swimming pool of opportunity. You can go and get a corporate career and do work for somebody for 30 years and
Right.
get promoted like I did, started from working in supermarkets, like putting products on the shelf, to being a director of national accounts for Coca-Cola, running all the juice brands and food service nationally. So, that's a great career, but, so is a small business.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a leader, if you know that you can, you want to do that, take the risk, jump and do it, because it only takes a few years to understand what small business is all about. And there's some stress that come with it. Like when I give away Coke's money, it's a little bit different than when I give away my own dollar.
Yeah,
There's a
absolutely.
little stress there on that, but you get over that, once you ramp up the business and your revenues where you need it to be. So yeah, I couldn't sit around and do it. I mean, there is always, I know so many people that I've met along the way that have multiple franchises, that have gone to corporate America and then switched. Most of the franchise owners were in corporate America. They either bought an existing franchise that's already up and running, or they bought something else. Now for us, who knows? Money Pages could be today, and tomorrow could be, yeah, we give Money Pages to either a family member and we do another franchise or do something different. But I mean, I got bit by the small business bug, so we're ready to go.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for your time. You really are kind of living our thought process of there is so much more left to do. And that's all I heard as you were talking. So thank you again for your time. I hope this was very valuable for those who are listening. And if you're interested in hearing more, feel free to visit www.revisionretirement.com. So thank you.
Thank you, Jalen.